It's the middle of March. I'm in the process of taking out all the mildew infested pieces of fiberglass top coat, which is meaning quite a lot of filling, as you can see. So a little black pinprick or something slightly larger, a few millimeters big, when it's opened up with an angle grinder will become maybe 2 centimeters diameter. On to the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. It's exciting to be almost at the point where we can really move on to another stage in the process after three months of sanding and filling the top sections. Today got a little bit more work to do in rebuilding up the window frames, which I guess because they had the rubber seals of the perspex windows in, it sort of perished quite a lot from damp, so there's been a lot of gouging out of those and making good. So we're going to put a hardener on the existing fiberglass first, roll that on, and then we are going to spray the primer, which is very exciting. As you move around the pieces and you think they're all finished, there are still little bits of snagging that you notice, little bits that need to be filled, even if they're going to be invisible to the eye once this Futuro is constructed. Here we have a flange edge that really just needs a little bit of filling here, just to really kind of make that line nice and sharp again. It's, as I say, it'll be covered over when the house is constructed, but really it's just about giving each piece back its integrity, making sure it's as close to as it was in form when it came out of the factory. One of the tricks in terms of figuring what needs filling and what doesn't is just basically to feel the surface. So by running your hand over, you can feel that there's slightly concave sections that you then have to fill and sand back to the right level. Combating this is actually what you realise is when this was manufactured, it's not exactly a perfect surface either. We have been priming some of the upper panels using a special fiberglass primer, sanding them back to see where it needs further filling. Where it's dark, it needs more filling. Where it's pale, it's slightly proud. And as you can see from some of the panels that have had a level of filling to them applied, there's an awful lot of work to do to make these pieces mould perfect. Plans are running slightly behind schedule. I had hoped to have the top sections completed by this stage, which evidently they're far from, but keep ploughing on. Deadlines are deadlines. I really want to get started on some of the interior plans as well. I need to make a mould of this piece, the armrest, to make more sections of, but at the moment it's serving as a very impractical place to use sanding pads. Another job for today is to weigh a lower section and an upper section. So I've borrowed a 3-ton load cell to enable that. I'm currently just trying to work out the best lifting points for each piece. I can't really remember when I last did a video update, but where we're at now is effectively sanding back the primer to get a consistent level. And as I do this, I realise that if we carry on like we are, this thing's going to be more perfect than it was when it came out of the mould. Summer's afternoon of priming, spraying up the last remaining sections that haven't been primed and putting a second coat of primer on the sections that have been and have been sanded back. Hopefully flat. All will remain a mystery until we put the primer on. It's hoping. It looks great. Who knows though. The primer is going on okay. This is the first coat on this section, so some filling needed, but not too bad. And just finished spraying first coat on that one over there. and then I can move on to spraying sections that have already been sanded down after one coat of priming, and that is going to be the real test of how good our restoration work has been thus far, whether it's flat or whether it's pockmarked. I'm on a deadline to get these primed and propped back up because on Wednesday of this week I've got a local carpenter coming in to try and remove the rotten wooden sections of the lower pieces and replace them with new unrotted pieces. Day 467. More sanding and filling. Sand fill, live to sand fill. Actually, it's not so bad. We're almost on the home straight, although running perilously close to the 2 deadlines that we now have for this project. Having spent 2 months rather than 2 weeks completing the woodwork, joists, battens, etc. We're now back to sanding and filling the lower sections, which are less badly damaged than the upper sections, but still need a lot of work. Having to build out the end flaps, the lower end flaps, as they've become damaged over years and in transit. So, hasty bit of fiberglassing. We'll take that off tomorrow and see how it looks. Probably not that pretty. Actually not that bad. I made an impromptu backing mould with half a stopper lid, splodged some filler in and put a fiberglass backing to it, which now needs to be cut down to size.
The next one is